Hello and welcome back to Pandemic Playground with Dave. Alright, so we're going to continue our surviving Pertam, the wasteland. And what we're going to do today is going to try to build a new mining rig. Because the mining rig we have now is too stationary, and every time we build it, once it's finished collecting resources, we got to move it or take it apart. So right now, at first, I just got to do a daunting task of transporting resources from one area to another. So I'll be right back. Alright, we are back. It took quite some time to travel back and forth with this rover, grabbing as much stone, iron from that drilling rig and bring it back. Mainly because I flipped the damn thing a few times, which caused a lot of issues in terms of bringing it back to base. So I haven't actually got everything out of the drilling rig just yet, because it took so many cycles of going from point A to B and back to A and then back to B, and at some points the base was getting a little bit too filled up, so I had to change it up a bit. So I did do a little bit of welding, a little off camera for the most part, because I was running out of space with all the stone and iron, and we didn't have a lot of refineries to quickly refine these things, or the ores. So let's take a quick look at what we got so far. So because we needed space, I placed a few more cargo containers here. So you'll see originally I had this one here. So I added another one here, and I added the 4 more on this next to it. I could have created a large cargo container instead, but it didn't fit inside the tent. So eventually I'm gonna have to put it outside or make the tent bigger. Either one. Other than that, I had to make this medical room here because I did get shocked by lightning. Almost insta-killed me. And I lost my stripes again and turned it into red. So I had to create it so I could jump in here and get back my stripes. So that took some time to do because I had to get a lot of silver just to make the medical components. And to get the silver, I didn't find any ore deposits, so I had to search around a lot of these meteor holes just to find a scrapping of silver, and just enough to make 25 medical components just to get that medical bay rolling over there. And something I said I was going to do previously was connect this connector, because you want to use this rover to connect here, drop its ores and things like that, and it connects down to this here into this container. I didn't have too much materials at first, so I made these tubes instead of putting all these conveyors down here, but I just put some catwalks on top of it so it makes a nice smooth little run by. And the last thing I did was also weld up the turbine station and added more turbines to it too, because we are running a lot more things, such as this large refinery, which is killing a lot of power because I have 2 speed modulars on here. So it drained all my batteries at one point, so I needed to create more turbines. So I did. I added 4 more turbines up there. So I created these little stairways, which are not welded whatsoever, so anything could break this easily. So once we get up to the very top, you'll see that these turbines are running on the sides here, and then one on the top. It was a bit of a struggle to get them all working correctly. You had to jump around, build underneath, and kind of build outside of it. And falling a couple of times didn't help a lot either, but it kind of worked out. But another shortcut that I had been doing was pretty much jump off of here and grab that ladder down there. Hopefully I can do that. Oh, or hit the roof, either one. So that's what I've been doing. So I moved the turret also. It was up there, but I moved it down here instead, so it makes it a little bit better. And just to keep myself a little more safer from lightning attacks, I put an antenna here with a solar panel. Probably should connect it onto the base, but I just left it solo for now. Don't know why I did that, but it's just trying to separate myself from it. And as you notice here, it's a bit of a rover, but we'll talk about that in a second. I still need to grab the rest of it from the drilling rig, and I do want to take the drilling rig apart as well because we don't need it over there. So what I'm going to do is pretty much travel back there and grab the rest of it if I can, or at least do one or two more runs. So as you see here, the meteors pretty much destroy the area really bad, and it's really hard to navigate with a small rover. A large rover might be a little better, maybe, can't really tell for sure, but it is littered with meteors. Alright, we are connected. We're going to see what we have left here. So we still have 1,140k of stone. It was a whole lot more, to be honest, and there was a whole bunch more iron as well. So it took me many trips to get all this stuff because our large cargo container doesn't hold too much, as you see here. I finally got to grab all the iron ores, but we still have a bunch of stone to get rid of. So I've just been trying to fill up as much as I can here, and even grab them for the person itself. So I'll just come and grab whatever I can. I should have dropped these off earlier. And I took out the drilling rig itself as well and brought back the parts because the main idea initially was to create a kind of a mobile drilling station where we can bring it somewhere, drill, drop it off, and then pick it back up as a whole, instead of having to travel back and forth using these rovers. This kind of rover here, because we can't carry too much. So it's kind of going to be a truck. But the biggest problem I had initially that I didn't think about was that one, I didn't have that many parts to do it, and two, it takes time for the refinery to refine all these things. So won't be able to do that today for this video. So we're gonna reserve that for the next one. We'll make that truck and that drilling station, and I have a really good idea of how to make it. So hopefully it turns out great. But instead of making the truck today, I decided to make a rover, which we can use to pick up the unknown signals, so we can drop it off at our base, so we can collect them, and so we can probably create a small little drop-off station where we can just drop the unknown signal into a hole and have it grind down the whole entire thing for parts, instead of me jumping out of my rover and grinding it down, basically. So we're gonna get to do that once we park this guy, and I'll show you how I built the Rover. Alright, so we're just gonna back up, park in here, charge up, and also drop off what I can. So let's move on to this beautiful little Rover that I made. Alright, so this one was a quick build, wasn't too bad. This was probably the first time I ever used so much lights on a vehicle for whatever reasons. So you have some like the corner side lights, interior lights. You have the front offset lights, and then you have some back lights. I was gonna add some under lights here at the bottom, just to make it look cool, but decided against it. And I did kind of the desert color scheme, or the desert skin. What's it called? The dust armor. The dust armor skin on a white and yellow, or actually gray, light gray and yellow type of color scheme. And I try to use this nifty new Buggy Cockpit to kind of put it here. So the Buggy Cockpit is not a large cockpit like the rest of them. This is more of a 2x3 basically in terms of width and length. So it's a little bit different from your original cockpits, like these cockpits here. The fighter cockpit, industrial, and the regular cockpit. These are like 3x3s length and width. This one's not as, I guess, girthier as the other cockpits. Don't really care to talk about girth when we're talking about cockpits, but whatever. So this one was a little bit different. So I offsetted this one a little bit to the side just to make it look a little bit interesting. And what we have here on the front is somewhat of a forklift or crane system, which is just running on a piston. Try to make it as simple as possible, where we can pick up and drop off unknown signals. And in order to pick up stuff, either just run right into it because it's on auto lock, or sometimes if it's too low, we're gonna have to drop down the strength so we can pick it up from the ground, and then we can just bring it back up. And of course, if we want to pick up something and lift it up, we have the piston to go up, which it doesn't go too high up, but it's decent. So this one, it has the spoiler here in the back. Wheels are still a little bit short in terms of a base. They're too close together, so this thing can flip a little bit. But luckily the piston can kind of help us pick it up. Kind of not. Sometimes, depending how you fall. And I didn't put a big old battery here. I put a lot of small batteries underneath instead, just to make it a little more compact. And ideally, I wanted this Rover to go really fast, but because of the short wheelbase, it's not the quickest thing in the world. Or it's hard to make it the quickest thing in the world because you can't flip it. And of course, in the back here, we have the exhaust, as you see here. And we put the flames on here, so when we go fast, you'll see the flames. Alright, so we got on park. We have an unknown signal, so let's go and grab that. So again, the power here, I think I put at 50%. we can take a look at the wheels. And if you guys have a suggestion on like what to set my wheels, feel free to leave a comment down below. So I have at 50% strength in terms of height. I usually like to leave at 15, 20 depending. Height offset, I usually have it on lowest. Sometimes I do play around with it. Speed limit, I put at 180 so we don't go too fast. So that's about it. All I've changed. And this is front wheel turning system. Not a front wheel drive, but front wheel turning system. The all wheel drive. So all of them pretty much drives in that case. Maybe I should turn it a front wheel drive so I don't go too crazy. But yeah. So the unknown signal's up there. And this thing turns pretty well. It's a little wide, so it's good. The only thing is when you stop with handbrakes, you see it kind of almost flips over. Again, that's because the wheelbase is too short. Most of my builds are technically short wheelbases anyways, but I tried to make it look like a buggy, which it's a small little buggy, and a bit of design, not too complicated. But let's hopefully we can travel to the unknown signal. It's 2k away, which is pretty far, and it looks like it's up on a mountain, so that might pose a bit of an issue in terms of getting it. Alright, we're closing on the unknown signal here, and it's a bit... I think it's on... I can't really tell, but I think it is... I hope it's on top of the mountain and not inside. Oh, it's a little bit hilly here. Alright, so I'm gonna have to keep the HUD on to see where the signal is at. Alright, we're cutting it close. I think we're gonna miss out on it. It's has 14 seconds left, to be honest, and it's down this hill, which is unfortunate. But let's see if I can. Oh no! I can grab it. Yes, I got it, and I got nothing out of it. And I can't use the rover to bring it down here to grab it, which is a problem. So we're gonna have to do it the old-fashioned way, which is something I didn't want to do. I want to actually bring it back, so then we could build something to scrap it all. So generally it just takes too long to scrap all this little stuff by the hand grinder, so that's why I tend to just leave it alone for the most part, and I prefer to build something so I can actually just grind it down a lot quicker. Alright, so we made it back home almost, and unfortunately that was a bust. The unknown signal was pretty much on a hill, so I really couldn't get it with the rover itself. Now I just gotta navigate through this minefield of meteors so we don't get trapped or stuck in here. Another thing I need to do is actually add a way to recharge this rover, because we don't have a connector here. So how can we possibly connect this guy to get some more power? I haven't really thought about that or thought it through, but maybe we could do some kind of rotor head situation here or in the back. I don't know yet. We'll just leave it as is for now. The other idea I wanted to do, as I mentioned before, was to create some kind of drop-off point where I can just create a grinding system. And I think I can do it probably here or maybe here. I'm thinking somewhere that's not too close to the tent for the time being, because I'm going to drill a hole on the ground anyways. And the reason why I'm drilling a hole in the ground is so that I can have a nice spot to just drop it and let it roll into it. And more of a natural hill, or I guess, or natural enclosure. So we don't have to build like a cube version of it. So let me weld these things up here. And then I guess we can connect the things here using conveyors. So we could probably make a hole here. Let's not make it too crazy of a hole. I'm gonna just left click drill down for the time being. Not too much. I do wanna probably right click drill soon. But let me see how I'm gonna do this. The grinders here. Let's see. It is. It's not too bad. It's on two sides and the bottom. So if I could drop it down a little bit more. So this here It's on 2.2 blocks. Okay, so let's drop it down a little bit more. So I guess we're gonna have to left click drill a little bit. Like so. And have floating ores somehow. Bit of a magic trick for you guys. Alright, so let's see if that will work. Is there a conveyor hole here? No. I do have to get some conveying over here working. Alright, so let's just drill down a little bit more. I don't want to go too crazy. Look at this magic trick for you guys. We have floating stone, and then 1, 2, 3, release. Oh, my inventory is full, so that's not gonna work. Alright, let's try it again. Floating ore, see nothing touching the bottom, nothing touching the sides. And we're gonna release it in 3, 2, 1. Drop. Pretty cool, huh? Not really. Alright, so let's continue on with this. Let's just do... we can use conveyor tubes, I guess. Alright, so let's just get the things going here. Conveyor tubing. Okay, let's just load that up. And what we want to do is go down. And we want to go down one more, I think. Yeah, I think we want to go down one more. So let's just do that. We grab all these things that are left here. We can go down a little bit deeper. Oh, looks like I run out of interior plates. Alright, so now we're down there. We need to drill down one more deeper. Or a little more deeper. So we can make that curve here. I'm going to curve it towards me. Now we could put a grinder there. Okay, cool. So we'll weld these guys up. So now we're going to put the grinder here. I need something. Alright, so I'm unable to connect it. I'm thinking because it needs to be drilled out more. So I guess we're going to have to do that now. Okay, I'll grab that. Okay. Grinder. Just a tad off on the corners, it looks like. So we're gonna have to take out this corner, and I think this corner with this corner. Let's see if that works. We're still a little off on the corners here. Especially these corners. So let's just take that out. Okay. I was hoping to kind of bury it, but look, there you go. Perfect. We don't have to bury it now. Yeah, I was hoping to bury it so that it doesn't like give any like space for things to come out. But it looks like it has to be done this way, which is a bit unfortunate. So if I want another one, I have to pretty much kind of also drill out a little bit more. So that's something I didn't want. I kind of wanted to be perfect. We can just drop it down and it'll be able to grind it out. But it's okay. It's not a big deal. What we can do is add the blocks inside. So we can do that right there. So we can actually, you know, block it from falling out if that's the case. But that kind of defeats the purpose of what I wanted to do initially. But it's okay. It's gonna have to happen that way. And I need a block over there somehow. So I probably have to go in. Didn't want to go in to do this because I might get trapped. Alright, I'm pretty much trapped. Oh, I'm good. Alright, so we'll just put these here. Let me try to get out of this stinking hole. Alright, we're out of there. I want to put it on the sides here. I can't do. Maybe I leave it. No, right here I could do. That's fine. And I could put one up here. I want to put one over there, but I can't do it currently on the way we're looking at it. So we're probably just gonna have to grind this guy down and do it. It doesn't help that my inventory is full. Okay. Alright, so we should be able to get it now. Right there. Perfect. Now we can put this guy back on. Alright, we can drill this on. And we can kind of leave the rest. We don't have to weld it, but I think I'm going to. Alright, so unknown signal appeared pretty close to the base. So what I'm going to do is hop off of here. Get to the button. And it looks like it's kind of upside down. So we're just going to flip it. If we can. There we go. 50 seconds left to mess with this thing. And I got a skeleton helmet. Nice. Haven't got that in a while. Well, haven't got that at all. That's the first time. Cool. Alright, so this is where we're going to be able to grab this guy. I think we should be able to lock in. Alright, we're locked in. And I can bring it up like this if I wanted to safeguard it from hitting the ground. But I think we're okay. We're pretty lifted from the ground a bit. So, maybe I should change the piston's maximum height, not velocity. Max distance, so it doesn't go too high up. So let's just say, let's say 1. That's not too bad. Let's keep it as that. Now we can bring it back to our grinder. So I did finish off the grinder, and it looked okay. It's just one grinder, didn't have space for 2. So we're gonna leave it as that, and it should be able to just drop this guy in there. I should pick up the parts before I do that, actually. So let me do that if I can see where that is. Right here. Base credits, components, perfect. Now let's just drive back, and we put on the side so we can drive over there. Not too bad. Again, this Rover is actually not too bad. It does need a bit of adjustment in terms of speed, because going too fast does eventually cause some issues. Or hitting a little bump, forget it, we're gonna be flying somewhere to no man's land, basically. Alright, so here we are. If I had a piston going forward, that would be much more helpful, but here we go. This looks okay. It's not too bad. As you see here, I made these blocks here. These are the kind of new light armor half sloped corner base, or corner blocks I like to call them. So that's came with the wasteland update. So those blocks here, and it's gonna kind of make a kind of like a scoop into this grinder, which I have a button here to activate it. So we're gonna activate this guy. A little low, kind of have to kneel to get to it, and we can just drop this unknown signal right into it. So we can bring it down a little bit and unlock and just drop it right in. So that's what it's gonna look like. It's going a little crazy, but hopefully it doesn't like backfire and fly into my face and blow up stuff. But okay. It kind of spewed out a little bit, but that's okay. We can kind of, I was hoping to just push it, but that didn't work out. Let me get a little low and see if I can just grab it again. Or maybe I can just push it in. Yeah, I can just push it in. There we go. Pushed it in. So I need some kind of cover just in case it flies up like that. So, whoa. Look at that. So I do need a cover here. So I think I can just put a piston to go forward to make that cover. Or maybe I just throw a catwalk here. I think that would probably be the best bet. So let's throw a catwalk. Probably throw one. Yeah, we could throw it here and there. This we could drop it here and it rolls in anyways. So that kind of gives some covering. It's not going to be a lot of covering, but it should be good enough for the time being. Let's see if that kind of works. So let's just put a let's just try an interior turret, I guess. Just the scrap part of it. So let's see if it works out. So I dropped one here. Yep, it accidentally just dropped there, but yeah, that worked out. Unfortunately, as you see there, some parts will be stuck there, but that's that's not too significant, so it should be okay. But I think we had a fairly successful little buggy or rover here that kind of collects stuff. If I were to update this a little bit more, I would probably bring the wheels back a little bit more so that it doesn't create too much issues. But other than that, I think we have a decent thing. It can be designed a little bit more. I should lower the power because this is a bit insane in terms of how quickly it can like just start up and go, and it kind of tilts a bit. So let's just say 30 power. I think that should be okay. Oh, don't want to fall in there. All right. But again, we do need to create some kind of recharge station for this, which I don't know what I can do right now. Could do some kind of rotor connection. That would work, but I don't know where to put that rotor head onto this thing. So we got to figure that out. Maybe we could put it on the bottom somehow, or maybe a connector on the bottom. I don't know. The bottom is a bit awkward in a way. So yeah, well, gonna have to come back and figure this out. But this rover is nice and small, so we can actually fit it in our tent if we wanted to keep it safe. A little cramped, but it does work. As you see here, I parked it inside, so just in case it gets damaged by anything. But this gives me an idea where I do need a bigger tent, or quote-unquote hangar now, so I can park all my rovers that I'm going to create. So I think that's going to do it for today. Again, I'm waiting for all these things to be refined, and I still need to do a few more trips to collect the rest of the stone and iron over there. I think I got all the iron. More the stone. And then once that's all set, time to make our drilling rig with our truck. I have a good idea how to make it. So it's going to be 2 parts in terms of the truck. So I can have a truck and a mobile drilling station where you can just drop it off and pick it up once it's done. So once everything's refined, which I think it's pretty much done. It looks like it, yeah. It looks pretty done. So we just got to produce a whole bunch of parts. And we could do, again, just load up like 1,000 each thing, just in case. And we should be okay in that front. So with all those parts, we should be able to make this truck in the next video. So look forward to that, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye. And as always, if you enjoyed this video, hit that thumbs up, like the video, subscribe to the channel, hit that notification bell, and feel free to leave us some comments.